Welcome to episode 4 of Let's Talk Pokemon. Thank you everyone for joining me today in our chit chat about anything and everything Pokemon. I initially was going to start this whole episode with a bit of a rant. And I think since I initially decided, I've calmed down a bit. Now, for anyone that is confused about why I would be in a rant, because I think others may know, there was a 25th anniversary product release this week that did not go as planned for a lot of people. And I thought I was like, okay, man, I'll just save it for the end of the episode. I think I'm just going to go ahead and talk about it now and just kind of get it out of the way. And it's not going to be so much of a rant about Pokemon, about the product really. Well, let me just go ahead and explain the situation. So, as I mentioned in last week's episode, we had a Bear Walker 25th anniversary limited edition Pokemon skateboard that was being released. And they announced the time and day. They also kind of tweeted it out to everybody that, would probably be interested in the product. And they even sent an email about it, which was, pretty cool. They really wanted to hype this up and get a lot of people's attention with it, which is completely fine. I mean, that makes sense. It's marketing. That's what you have to do. Well, at that time, when the pre-orders were just about to go live, I had my computer set up, I had my account signed in, I had my card info ready, I even got my PayPal password and everything up and ready just in case, because, if I had that option, I wanted to do it through PayPal. And as soon as the time struck 12, I think it was 12 that it started, 11 or 12, one of those, I got onto Pokemon, clicked on the skateboard, added it to my cart, went to the cart, added my card info, clicked on checkout, and then it crashed on me. And I go, oh no, don't tell me this is already sold out. It's literally not even 12:01 and 1 minute after, and it's already sold out. And then I tried it again, refreshed, still nothing. I managed to open up a new tab, go back into Pokemon, but I couldn't even get onto PokemonCenter.com anymore. The site was just having all sorts of issues. In fact, the entire site was just crashing. And if you manage to get through, you go to new releases, and all that pops up is a single, Hidden Fates Gyarados tin, which was very random. And then sometimes you couldn't even get into new releases. And it was a hot mess. There was no saving anything in that site. And it turns out that there was a bot situation. I think a lot of people were also tweeting out and putting on Instagram that they couldn't get these skateboards. And then it came up on another post that there was these people that were bragging that they were able to use their bot system, software, whatever, and purchased from 30 to 70 to 80 of these skateboards, which is incredibly insane. I don't understand how that's possible. And so let me de-escalate myself here because it sounds like I'm getting on a high rant here. I'm not mad at Pokemon because I know a lot of people are you're like, oh, you could have prevented the situation. You should have seen this coming. I mean, maybe this is becoming a bigger situation because we know that the next gen consoles, right, the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S are experiencing the same thing where bots are just buying up, multiple of these and selling them out before people can get them. I mean, you could try to be mad at Pokemon Company. I'm trying to give them the benefit of a doubt because honestly, they probably didn't expect this much high traffic. Is considering that their Pokemon Center website was almost a ghost town up until early last year when the pandemic hit. And so, and I can't be mad obviously at Bear Walker. I mean, he's just a partner in all this, so I'm sure he's kept, not necessarily kept in the dark, but there's nothing that he can really do about it. And I don't know. I am mad at the people that think this is some sort of game. They think this is some sort of joke that they can just, because they are able to, they're just going to go ahead and nab as many of these as possible and just flip them on eBay. For what purpose? Is it just because you want to show off that you could do it? Or is it because you really need this money? like there are Pokemon fans that just want this skateboard because it is such a cool collectible item. Like even for me, I just want it because I want to put it on my wall and say I have a 25th anniversary limited edition Pikachu skateboard. Like it is just a cool collectible item. I don't want to flip this on eBay. I hardly ever want to flip anything on eBay. I'm not that kind of person to like take something and then try to make, double, triple my money's worth. It's just, this was just so upsetting. But what's even more upsetting for me is that I didn't know that people can block you from websites. Like there's an IP blocking capability with these things, and that's just crazy. Like, how low can you be? Like, I'm so if you are listening to this and you're one of those people that like to do these things, that like to go out there and just buy bulk of these things from stores, grab them off shelves, and just try to flip them on eBay just because the demand is out there. Hey, no hard feelings. You can just leave and you don't have to listen to this anymore. Like I'm just being honest. Like I don't understand that kind of I guess attitude or mentality behind it. Like I could have easily had bought I went to a Target one day where they restocked everything. There was actually like Champions Path Elite Trainer boxes, Champions Path Hatterene and Wooloo boxes, and I could have just bought them all right then and there. I mean, it would have hurt my bank account, but I mean, the way Pokemon products are going, I could have easily made my money back and then some. But I decided no. I mean, it wasn't even like, it didn't even occur in my head. I just go, man, these are going to sell out because someone is going to grab all of these. Like, I didn't even buy a single one. In fact, I also passed up a Champions Path Elite Trainer box at Target because I go, I've already had 2 of these. I don't necessarily need a third one. I opened up my other 2 just because I like to open the packs, and they were at separate times that I bought them. It's not like I bought 2 of them on the same day. I was able to pre-order one from GameStop, and then I found another Champions Path that I was able to use a coupon for and got some money off of it. So I was like, sweet, I'll just buy this too. But I just didn't buy another one because there's no sense in me doing it. At this point, because I'm a collector of single cards, I just rather just buy the singles because it's so hard to find Pokemon product nowadays that it's just, I'd rather go there because the cards on their own are so much cheaper, especially if you use like tcgcollector.com. I think like they have like a market pricing of it and then like all these other sellers, and it's just much more fair. But going back to the whole scalping thing, like, I don't know. I don't support it. I don't like the idea of it. I don't know. I'm like, sorry if you're listening to this and this offends you because I'm upset that that I'm offending your way of trying to earn some extra money. I just think that is a scummy way of trying to earn extra money. I think it's just, you're better off, finding something else, maybe making a craft, a side hobby of something, and maybe starting up your own business. I don't know. It's just very hard to also see other Pokemon fans cry out for these skateboards and not like being able to nab one. Like it just really sucks, and it's kind of it's just really sad overall, and it sucks to have to start this episode on a sad note, but that is what happened. And then I think several hours later, Pokemon Company finally sent out another email and saying, hey, we know that you were experiencing issues during the pre-orders, but hey, don't worry, we've investigated the situation. They're not sold out. We're going to go ahead and put up pre-orders or continue pre-orders on this day and at this time. And I was like, sweet, okay, maybe they figured out the bot situation. Maybe they can prevent it again. They could not. The new pre-order date came up and the whole site crashed. Couldn't even get onto the site. Not even on the time that they suggested, but 5 minutes before the time that they suggested. And I couldn't just get on the homepage. And then every time I was able to get through, just through the home site, like the front page of the Pokemon Center website, I couldn't even get to new releases. The skateboard wouldn't pop up. Just nothing was working. And then I just called it quits. I was like, that's it. I'm done. Like, I guess I'm not going to get the skateboard. I don't know if anyone else really is going to be able to get one as well, because Pokemon Company has not said anything about it. And again, as much as I want to, as much as I can see why people are going to get mad at Pokemon Company, me personally, I just don't feel right getting mad at Pokemon Company because I don't understand the whole bot thing. Like, I don't understand how a bot is created, how a bot is able to carry out these tasks. How can you detect a bot? Like, I don't know technically what the the process is and how you would even be able to stop it. Like, it's easy for me to say, oh, they could easily come up with something to stop it. But then how do you do that? Like, if I don't know the process, then how can I say that Pokemon Company knows the process? Like, people are getting smarter with these bot systems. And even someone that was buying up the PlayStation 5s was saying it gets easier every single time. Like, hopefully something does resolve. Hopefully something does get figured out on how we can beat these bots, on how we can fight back at these. But until then, this is the world that we live in, where people are just going to try to buy up as many of a limited product as they can, so that way they can flip them on eBay. I mean, these skateboards are already going anywhere from like $700 to $1,500, and these are just the pre-orders. These are people not even have them in their hands. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully Pokemon Company will send out something again. Hopefully they decide, I don't know, maybe to do make as many as there are pre-orders, instead of saying like there's only so many. I mean, they technically never even said that either. They just said limited edition. So we'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, hey, if you manage to actually break through all the botting and everything and get a skateboard, let me know. And let me know how that skateboard is, because it looked very cool in the pictures, and I'm sure it was well worth the $250, especially for a true Pokemon fan, for a true Pokemon collector. So, all right, let's move on from the sad stuff. Let's get into the Pokemon news, because there are quite a bit of headlines and some updates with a lot of the games, especially in the Pokemon Masters and Sword and Shield realm. But we'll go with the mobile games and work our way to Sword and Shield. We'll start with Pokemon Cafe. All right, here are the updates. Again, all of this information about the games come from Cerebi.net. So thank you, Cerebi, for always having the info. Pokemon Cafe Mix has received an update. This update has details some upcoming changes to Pokemon Cafe Mix over the coming months. First, from February 24th, new stages will come in batches of 30 rather than 50 each time. Emolga will be added on February 10th alongside the batch of orders, bringing up to order 900. Jeez. It will be the last Pokemon for a while. Ooh, that's interesting. After Chansey leaves, some events will be repeated. Torterra will return on January 27th, and then Snorlax event will repeat on February 10th. A major update will be detailed in March, which is said to make it more fun to recruit and train staff and want to add new elements to the puzzles. Interesting. It sounds like Pokemon Cafe is going through like a rehaul in a way, because they're repeating events, I guess, maybe to catch up. Well, they've been repeating events, right? Because they did the Scorbunny, Grookey, and Sobble events. So they're trying to catch up with new players that possibly just recently joined, and look like they're trying to, I would assume, improve the game, of course, making changes based on what they've seen, I guess, on their end, right? Because obviously they can track all these games being played and how long they're being played for, and so on and so forth. So I'm curious what this update would be. I wonder if it's something that's going to bring me into the game more. We shall see, but I'm very interested. I don't know what these team events are, right? Because Chansey was part of a team event. Torterra and Snorlax, I assume, are team events. So I don't know if this is something I want to try. I mean, I'm not really big into Torterra and Snorlax. They're not like Pokemon that are going to like win me over. So I don't have a need to go back into Cafe. In fact, I don't think I've played Pokemon Cafe since I last talked about it. So I don't know. I think I'm going to wait for the update and see what that brings, and hopefully that will, I guess, entice me more to play it. Moving on to Pokemon Go, we do have the Hoenn event happening right now, which, let me just say, so there's a lot of mixed reactions between the collection challenge, right? Because, they have these things where you have to catch certain Pokemon, you get a medal at the end of it, and some in-game items like berries or rare candies or whatever. It's cool. I like it. The Sinnoh one, it's either the Sinnoh or the Unova. One of them had you had to catch a shadow Pokemon. And that wasn't a big deal to me. I mean, the Team Rocket stuff, that comes in like every few hours or so. So eventually I was able to get that shadow Pokemon through that way, through the balloon event. Not an event, but, the balloon encounter. This time around, they put 2 Pokemon on this collection challenge that only you can get through field research, which I get that there's the complaint of, this seems very wrong to put because, we're still in a pandemic and it's not really encouraged to go out, interact with other people or be near people. And that's where these Pokestops are. They're in high traffic areas. So, it's not very wise to put them on a collection challenge. And I get people that like to complete these things are going to be like, well, I can't complete this because I can't go out and do a field research. And then there is another Pokemon on this list too that's also on a raid that very rarely shows up. I have not seen this raid yet, and I've done several raids already this week, and this one is harder. Is it supposed to be a challenge? Yes. Do I disagree with those people? Not necessarily, but I think the level, I guess, of hate that Niantic is getting for this kind of is a little overreacted. Like, in the end, this is going to sound like I'm defending Niantic or something, but I don't have to complete this challenge. And that hurts me to say that because I do like to complete things. I have completed the first 2 collection challenges. I have the medal that says 1. I have the medal that says 2. If I don't do this, it's going to kill me if I don't have that medal that says 3 and all of a sudden I have a medal that says 4. That does bug me. And I get the hate towards this collection challenge, scenario where it's hard to do the field research now, but at the same time I just don't think the level of hate towards Niantic is really necessary. I think it's okay to voice your criticism and concerns, but it gets to a point where if you start sending death threats, I guess, or start calling them names or whatever, I just think that needs to be toned down a bit. I think you can present a argument in a much more behaved tone and not get too out of hand to the point where, you start this bandwagon of people just with pitchforks and torches and just going to Niantic's office. I've seen the comments and they are extreme. And then I've seen some really good criticism towards Niantic, which are okay, that's a fair thing to say. So, yeah, I think I don't know if I'm going to be able to complete this challenge. I don't think I am capable of I haven't been able to actually find a field research that it's specific. You have to find the one that says catch 11 Pokemon, and I have yet to have that one. I get a lot of the scan this Pokestop, but that's it. So we'll see what ends up happening. I guess I can update you guys next week on what my outcome is. But on Pokemon Go side, as I mentioned, there are several events that were announced. Here's the first one. Niantic have announced the next Pokemon Go event. This event is an incense event focused on Mareep and will run from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. local time on January 24th. Now, this goes hand in hand with another announcement I'm about to make here in just a moment about a Mega Ampharos finally showing up in Pokemon Go. But this is fine. I like that they keep doing this stuff, even if it's for Pokemon that we've already had before. We got to understand, there's new players to the game frequently. There's new players to the game that haven't shown up, that weren't there in the first 2 years. So they missed out on a lot. And to say oh, we shouldn't do this because, we've already had ours. Well, what about the new players? There's new adults and kids that are signing up. So I'm okay with this. I like the events. Gives me more chances for XP anyway. There are some of us that are still behind on that. So I dig it. I'm okay with it. I think there's also going to be some other Pokemon that will be just fun to collect. So I'm looking forward to it. The info for the event continues. During this event, the spawns will alternate between electric-type Pokemon and dragon-type Pokemon, and you'll be able to have Ampharos learn Dragon Pulse when you evolve Flaffy during this event. In electric-type hours, you'll find Pikachu, Magnemite, Voltorb, Chinchou, Mareep, Plusle, Minun, and Stunfisk. In Dragon Hours, you'll encounter Horsey, Dratini, Mareep, Trapinch, Vibrava, Swablu, and Bagon. And so this is the timeline that they've set. From 11 to 1, it's going to be electric Pokemon. 1 to 2, Dragon type. 2 to 4, back to electric. And then 4 to 5, Dragon type Pokemon. From that list, I'm very much looking forward to catching Magnemites because I'm hoping I can get a shiny one. I have not gotten a shiny Magnemite yet. And then during the Dragon Hours, I'm really hoping to catch a good Horsey, like a good Ivy Horsey or a shiny Horsey, because I have yet to get a shiny Horsey. So like I said, these present Pokemon to me that I know I'm going to enjoy catching. So this sounds like a pretty cool event, and it makes sense as they're going to build up this Mega Ampharos release here. So along with that, they've also announced the details for the next celebration event, which is the Johto celebration event. And this will feature, of course, an increased focus of Johto Pokemon. It runs from January 26th to January 31st. This event features increased spawns of Chikorita, Cyndaquil, Totodile, Mareep, Hoppip, Aipom, Sunkern, Yanma, Murkrow, Gligar, Snubbull, Slugma, Miltank, with shiny Miltank now being available. Pichu, Cleffa, Igglybuff, Wooper, Tyrogue, Smoochum, and Larvitar will be in 5K eggs. There will be field research tasks that give Stardust or encounters with Chikorita, Cyndaquil, Totodile, Chinchou, Mareep, Sudowoodo, and Miltank. Chikorita, Cyndaquil, Totodile, Mareep, Marill, and Larvitar will be in 5-star or 1-star raids, while Togetic, Espeon, Umbreon, Skarmory, and Miltank will appear in 3-star raids. There will be a collection challenge that gives 15 Pokeballs, 10 Ultra Balls, and an incense. You'll be able to get the previous Community Day moves when evolving Pokemon. Meganium will learn Frenzy Plant, Typhlosion will learn Blast Burn, Ampharos will learn Dragon Pulse, and Tyranitar will learn Smackdown. Entei will also be in raids from January 26th from 10 through January 31st at 10 o'clock. Raikou will also be in raids from January 31st through February 4th. Suicune will also be in raids from February 4th through February 9th. So they've really gone all out with this Johto one. In the past, there was always a lot of opportunities to get the legendary Johto Pokemon, Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. So this is, again, another opportunity. I find it interesting that they are giving Community Day moves. They did this already with the Hoenn event right now with Metagross getting Meteor Smash or something like that. And I'm surprised that there's not a, what's it called? The story research, like a special timed research where like in Hoenn you had to catch 2 Groudon, 2 Kyogre to get an opportunity to catch a Rayquaza. So there's nothing here, which would have been interesting. Like, it would have been cool if you could have gotten if you had a special time research where you had to catch a Suicune, a Raikou, and an Entei, and then you had a chance to capture a Ho-Oh. I think that would have been a nice one, but it seems like they're really taking advantage though of these events to try out new things, and they're going to see, I guess, what works and what doesn't, right? Because I think with the whole community challenge, having these Pokemon be, either shadow Pokemon or field research only Pokemon or just raid Pokemon, like, they're trying to mix things up and see what's more ideal so they can continue putting these in this game and keeping those features permanent. So I'm all for this. I know it's not going to be for everybody. I know there's some people that are going to like certain things, and there's certain people that's going to hate certain things, and I get that. You can't please everyone, but I give Niantic credit at least for trying out these new things and instead of keeping it the same over and over and over again. So kudos to this. I'm looking forward to the Johto event, although shiny Miltank, I mean, I just kind of want it just because it's a shiny, but if I don't get it, I'm not going to be too terribly upset about it. Moving right along, let's talk about Pokemon Masters. Lots of updates here. I got to say, my own experience with Pokemon Masters so far, I'm just logging in to get my daily stuff, to get my daily bonus gems, and to get the daily missions, and that's pretty much it. I think I've maxed out all I could for the events. I do the Hoenn event, I guess, just to get some tickets, but then I've gotten most of the stuff I can get from the tickets, so it doesn't really motivate me. Like, if I miss out on a day of doing the Hoenn event, I'm not terribly upset. I got my one pull of Mayans and Mudkip, so I just keep pulling short, but I'd rather just save my gems and wait until and they announced something special for the 25th anniversary. Because I don't know, I'm expecting for them to do something big on that day, but if they don't, then I just got extra gems that I can either continue to save or I can pull for a character that I haven't gotten yet. But they did outline quite a bit of stuff here, because there was also a big update, a message from the developers that they've also put in there. So we'll go ahead and kind of read some of the stuff that's on this list. DNA have outlined some upcoming changes to Pokemon Masters EX. First, there will be a Blissful Bonanza event on January 21st, alongside the addition of Mallow and Serena. So both of those things are going on right now. The Blissful Bonanza event, where you can just beat 3 Chanseys very easily just to get some, the fortune cookie things to roll for a chance of a lucky skill. Which I guess is useful. I think those do help most sync pairs, so you can go ahead and do that on a daily basis. And then the Mallow and Serena, which looks like an interesting pair, but I'm not a huge fan of either of those characters, Mallow or Serena, so I'm not necessarily using my gems to pull for them. I'm okay on skipping out on that one. In addition, we have the Valentine's Day story event beginning on January 29th, and will feature Serena and Whimsicott as a sync pair and one other seasonal scouts. They always do seasonal scouts in pairs, so we basically got a reveal of one of them, which Serena and Whimsicott is interesting. I don't think she's ever had one. No, she did not have one in the anime. I don't know if she's got one in the game. I don't even know if I beat X and Y now that I think about it. So, I don't know. Someone else can fill me in on that. But the other seasonal scout, like, who could that possibly be for Valentine's Day? I'm very curious who would they end up picking, but hopefully they'll reveal it to us soon, as Valentine's Day is almost just right around the corner there. All right, also in the announcements, they do say egg events will be altered. They will no longer require stamina for completion, but will then no longer offer any rewards other than the eggs. This begins with the Fighting Grass and Rock type egg event that begins on February 4th. I think they offered XP, like I forget what their exact title is, but you get like the XP boost. There's like a bronze, silver, and gold. So I guess those were the extra rewards you got with the egg events, but now they're nixing that all together and just saying, hey, you're just going to get eggs, but you don't have to use stamina. I guess that's a fair trade-off. Again, I've expressed how I feel about these eggs. I only do them occasionally just to see if I get the shiny, and if I don't, not a big deal. And they just sit in my daycare. I have yet, even to this day still, I have yet to make a sync pair with any of the egg Pokemon. We do have a new legendary event coming up. Lurking Shadow will appear on February 8th, giving another chance to get Giovanni and Mewtwo. So actually not a new event, just a returning event. This is the 3rd time that they're giving us Giovanni and Mewtwo. I think this is the 3rd time they repeated this. Interesting. I wonder how many times they're going to keep repeating these events, and if it's even worth it that they're in the end. Like, at this point, couldn't they just put them in like, I guess maybe the ticket scout pool? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, it doesn't affect me because I already maxed out my Mewtwo, except I think the star potential. So will we get a chance at a 6EX Mewtwo? I guess so. That would be nice because, right, what's the point of returning the event if there's not an incentive for the people that have already gotten Mewtwo to continue playing it? So I think that would be the route to go. They didn't say that they're going to do that, but I feel like that would be a nice little surprise, is that, hey, 6-star EX Mewtwo is unlocked, and then if you replay these events, then you get the tickets or whatever, the 5-star potential tickets to increase to 6-star. So I think that would be nice. I think I would like to see that. But there is going to be a new legendary event. That's what the next title says. A new legendary event will run on February 11th, which gets you the ability to get sync pairs of Xerneas and Yveltal, with one being in the event and the other in a scout, which is interesting. I would think Xerneas would be the one that they give you in the event, and then you would have to scout for Yveltal. But I only saying that because I think Xerneas is more popular than Yveltal. So maybe they would do it the opposite, right? They'll give you Yveltal, but then you would have to scout for Xerneas because that's what people want. They would want Xerneas. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it's the first one I say, because I'm okay if I don't get Yveltal. I can pass on Xerneas. That's fine by me. But I'm looking forward to it, so we'll see what happens there. We also have, again, the reminder that 6-star EX Skyla and Corona will be added soon. I think I'm almost done collecting all that stuff for her. A new Pokefair Scout style will debut soon with one with unprecedented capabilities with different offering rates from normal Pokefair Scouts. Okay, fine. Go ahead and change up the Pokefair Scout stuff. Just don't make it strictly paid gems. I don't like what they're doing right now with the fact that you can do a 6 pull for 1,500 gems, but it can only be with paid gems. And that irritates me because, I don't mind doing a 6 pull and spending my own 1,500 that I saved, but to make it paid, I'm not going to go out of my way to buy more gems just for that. I guess as of right now, there's no character that's making me want to do that. I think the last time I did buy gems was for main Mudkip, and so I did feel a little incentivized to do it. But with Mal and Serena, I'm not. I don't know. I just much prefer if they start kind of going through the mentality of, hey, these guys have been saving their gems for a while. Can we just let them use those gems? Especially since they have never guaranteed us a 5-star pull of any kind unless, of course, we paid gems for them. So, I don't know. Their gem structure does have to be looked at again. I don't know how they can keep thinking that this is, I don't want to say okay, but keep thinking that this, no one has issues with this. I know as a company, you always want to make money and strive to make more and more, but it comes to a point where hey, I think we can capitalize on increasing players if we, guarantee something here or give a little something back, I guess, in a way. All right, moving on. Sync grids will be updated, allowing you to select multiple options, have a preset feature, and you'll be able to use co-op sync orbs without converting them. Select multiple options. Does that mean that you can have multiple sync grids completed and then you can just choose which one you like? I get that because I always see online, through YouTube videos and websites, because I'm always looking for tips on how to best utilize sync grids, and there's always multiple versions. And then when I try to do one myself, I see I could invest in this attack, or I can invest in the boost because that'll help out my Pokemon. And so I have to do this weird choice of okay, do I go this route or that route? When in some events, that could also be a deciding factor where maybe going all out offensive is more beneficial than being more supportive. So I'm hoping that's the case, which would be very nice. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. As the game reaches its 2nd year anniversary, there will be more sync pairs available by playing the game. The current story will conclude and a new story will start. What exactly does that mean? They're just adding more sync pairs, or when you beat certain parts of the game, then sync pairs that you've been introduced to will be added? I don't quite understand exactly the true meaning behind that. So again, I'll have to wait and see. This next one is interesting. Dynamax is coming to Pokemon Masters EX around the 2-year anniversary of the game. How does that work? How do you include Dynamax and make it fair? I don't understand in what capacity you could make that. I mean, they've done Mega, but then would you choose to do Mega or Dynamax? Will they re-release another sync pair that... So let's say, for example, Red. We already have Red with Charizard, and it goes into Mega Charizard. So will there be another Red that the Charizard Gigantamaxes? But then you would have to give that to Leon, right? Because Leon's Charizard Gigantamaxes, that's the iconic pair right there. That's confusing. I don't know. I guess I'll obviously have to wait to see what the info is about that. But yeah, it just seems very odd, I guess, at first glance. A new special scout has begun in Pokemon Masters EX. The scout is the Wallace Insignia Suit Grimsley Spotlight Scout. and provides higher chances of getting the sync pairs of Wallace and Milotic and Grimsley and Sharpedo. It's available until February 1st. The Sharpedo is very cool, so if you don't have a Sharpedo and is a big water Pokemon fan, I say at least scout for Grimsley and Sharpedo. The next Spotlight Scout has been announced for Pokemon Masters EX. So we already kind of talked about this. Mallow and Serena will be available from January 21st until February 4th. Then our last bullet point here for Pokemon Masters is that for the Champion Stadium, throughout February, from February 1st, the Champion Stadium will return to Kanto Challenge, allowing you to face the Kanto Elite Four and Champion, which is weird in a little bit because we've had Kanto for quite a while in Masters EX, or at least it felt like that. And then they give us Johto, but then Johto, I feel like they've only did it for a month, and now we're going back to Kanto. But it would have been nice to keep Johto around for a little bit longer. I haven't even tried the Master Mode yet. Like Master Mode, I don't know. I just feel like I don't have enough sync pairs to take on Master Mode, and at the same time I don't even know the right combination for, like, I eventually have to look into this and look up YouTube videos on how to do it. But there you go. Hopefully we'll get Hoenn in March at least. You know, they got to continue the trend here and give us eventually all the Elite Four. I'm sure it's going to be a slow rollout all the way into next year. All right, let's talk a little bit about Pokemon Sword and Shield. So Players Cup 3 ended, and so those who qualified will continue to move on. But alongside that, they did announce, I guess, the Series 8 rule set. So for those of you that play competitively, you might want to listen in on this in case you haven't seen it. The rule set runs from February 1st and features a slight change in the current rules. You will be able to use one of the normally restricted legendary Pokemon of Mewtwo, Lugia, Ho-Oh, Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, Reshiram, Zekrom, Kyurem, Xerneas, Yveltal, Zygarde, Cosmog, Cosmoem, Solgaleo, Lunala, Necrozma, Zacian, Zamazenta, Eternatus, and Calyrex. Mythical Pokemon are still banned. The other standard rules apply, and this applies for both doubles and singles. I'm seeing a bit of mixed reaction. Some are kind of digging it, especially since Calyrex is, I guess the concern is around Calyrex, right? Because he's been kind of seen more and more with the fusion with the Spectrier and Spectrier and Glastrier. Whew, man, those are names. But to put Calyrex in, especially if it's a DLC Pokemon and not everybody may have the DLC Pokemon, I can see maybe why they're toying around with this and saying, okay, let's not put Calyrex legal. Let's just go ahead and ban him for just this season, or not have him allowed in the season, and see how players make their teams off of that. So, I don't think it really matters. But then again, I don't play competitive, so maybe I'm not seeing it through a certain perspective that kind of argues the other. But there you go, for those, again, that play competitive. As far as the Wild Area event, it has now shifted in Pokemon Sword and Shield for a new extra event. With this, for the next few days, the Fire and Ice-type Pokemon have left raids, and Pokemon that are based on the Lunar New Year, including a shiny Tauros, and other Ox-like Pokemon. I think like Bouffalant is in there, Miltank, and one or two more. I can't remember off the top of my head. They're going to start appearing as promoted raids in Sword and Shield. So that's pretty cool. If you want a chance at a shiny Tauros because you don't have one yet, I would suggest probably doing the raids to increase your odds there, instead of doing the whole catch the Pokemon over again, or, increasing your encounters with it. Or doing a Masuda method. I mean, the raids are fun overall, so why not just do something a little bit different? And that way you still have a chance of catching a shiny Tauros if you ever so desire. Now, on to the kind of the biggest news for Sword and Shield, because this is getting quite a bit of mixed reaction, but, well, I'll read it first and then I'll give my thoughts about it. The Pokemon Company have announced a new ban wave is coming to Pokemon Sword and Shield and Pokemon Home. In their notice, they make mention of how some players are using altered data and others are causing issues impairing the function of games or apps for others. Due to this, a new ban wave is to start for players who have been modifying their saved data. Players hit by these bans will be restricted from online play in Sword and Shield, can't use trading features, or can no longer use Pokemon Home. This follows on from the agreement in the terms of service prohibiting save modification. TPC, the Pokemon Company, says that bans can be temporary or permanent and no refunds will be issued. These measures will also be taken regularly in the future and more measures imposed if necessary. So obviously this is getting a lot of mixed reaction because there are people out there that do modify their games to hack Pokemon into the game or to, change I guess the way that the game plays so that way they can manipulate the game to get a certain Pokemon or get a certain shiny. And I to a certain extent, right, I can agree or I can see that point of view of hey, it's my game, I bought it, I have the right to play with it any way that I want. But if we really get technical here, and I know I'm going to lose a lot of people on this stance, but we do agree to certain terms when we purchase something, right? There's always that little message that pops up that says, hey, read all this and click agree so you can continue so that we agree to our terms of service. That happens in everything, not just video games, but also in a lot of the music stores like Apple Music, for instance, or Spotify or whatever. We agree to certain things when we go through with our purchases or when we go through with continuing on with a purchase that we made. So because we agreed to it, we have to technically abide to it. You don't just click agree and go against it. Sure, we don't read these things, but that's not the company's fault. That's our fault. We technically should be reading these and making sure that we follow those terms of service. I mean, most of the time, I guess they're not even that big of a deal, right? Because, nothing ever really happens. It's not like we ever been fined or, put in a jail for anything, but Pokemon Company is trying to crack down on making sure that their games are not being modified to go against the way that they presented it to be played. And because we agreed to it, you can't really you can't really be mad at them for making sure that they uphold the rules, right? So are we going to be upset because they're enforcing their own rules and others just kind of let people break the rules like that? I don't know. To me, in my head, that doesn't make sense. Maybe because I've always been a rule follower, I guess. But at the same time, yeah, it sucks for those that rely, I guess, on these people that do the hacked games to get certain Pokemon. I'm just more of I rather just go out and try to find my Pokemon and catch them because I think that's part of the whole experience and I enjoyed that experience, as opposed to just saying, hey, I'll give you $5, give me this Pokemon, or hey, I'll subscribe to your Twitch channel and just give me this Pokemon. I just feel like it's a really scummy way to kind of monetize it for there are people that are using it to monetize it. You can see postings on eBay for this kind of thing. Like I said, I stand on, hey, this is a good thing, especially if they're saying that it's imposing a lot of features on these softwares, on the game and Pokemon Home. If it's causing a issue, then yeah, I mean, get rid of the problem, and you have every right to, Pokemon Company. I mean, it is, you did send us the terms of service and we did click agree. So, we that's on our fault if we go against that. So I know that rubs people the wrong way, and I apologize if that does. But like I said, I'm on the side of, we should just let the game be the game and play the game the way it was meant to be played. And I know there's a lot of questions about, well, if I get an illegal Pokemon during in a trade or a hacked Pokemon in a trade, will my account be banned? No. I think Joe Merrick, the person that runs Cerebi, has come out and said that, no, your game will not be banned. You're okay. They're not going to be that picky about it. They're only looking for data that is manipulated in any way that goes against their terms of service. So as long as you didn't do any of that, then you're fine. If you got a hacked Pokemon, hey, you got to keep your hacked Pokemon. Not a big deal. And I think they could easily remove hacked Pokemon anyway, right? Can they just go into the Pokemon Home code or Pokemon Sword and Shield code and say, hey, this Pokemon that has maybe this thing on it, on the code, just get rid of it. I feel didn't they do that last year or something? I could have sworn they tried to at least. So it is what it is. They did give us the heads up. So it's kind of, if you think about it, they announced hey, this is going to happen. So they're basically warning you, stop doing what you're doing so that way we don't have to ban you. I think that's kind of I guess, at least some sort of grace from Pokemon Company, because they could easily have just done it like right now or like 10 minutes ago. Like that's on them. It's their company. It's their game. They have every right to do so. But I am curious. I mean, you guys that are listening, you can let me know, through my social media or whatnot. Let me know how you guys actually feel about it, because I am generally curious what most of the Pokemon community feel like. I feel like the ones that are being loud about it are the ones that like to kind of break the rules, and maybe are the ones that are buying the skateboards up and just scalping them. I mean, that's a low call for me, but still, that whole issue has caused me to maybe misjudge people, so I apologize for that. But I hopefully this is a good thing, and it looks like they're going to keep doing it and be more frequent about it. And if it helps the game, I'm all for it. Why not? I really think, Game Freak, Pokemon Company are genuinely trying to make a good experience for everyone and not putting everyone at a disadvantage, right? Because as soon as you create a hacked Pokemon and you give it to somebody because they subscribe to your Twitch channel or you paid them money, that's a disadvantage at, anyone else. You could say a kid, but just really anyone else, because maybe they can't afford to pay for that Pokemon, or they don't want to, waste the subscription on your Twitch channel when they could easily use it to support somebody else. So, there's a lot of pros and cons to each side, but at the end of the day, legally, we do agree to this, and then the company has every right to impose or enforce those rules when they choose or when they see fit. And that is it when it comes to the video game side of things. So there's a lot more announcements there. Not so much on the TCG. I guess the big one you could say is that in Japan, the Battle Style set, the full set, has already leaked out. We do see the secret rare cards, which is kind of neat because we do see that there's a gold Houndoom and a gold Octillery in there. And I'm all for the Octillery. Call me biased for being water type. I think that's really what it comes down to. But I really do like that Octillery card. And hopefully eventually I will get my hands on that gold Octillery. But the only other headline, I guess, that comes from PokeBeach in the TCG department is that there's a new Fusion Arts trademark filed for the Pokemon TCG. A new Fusion Arts trademark has been filed by Pokemon. It's under the same usage terms as the Pokemon TCG, meaning it could be an upcoming set or mechanic. In this case, it sounds more like a mechanic. Trademarks are discovered 5 to 6 months in advance, so this would go into usage in the summer. Now, there's a lot of speculation behind of what this could possibly be. Even PokeBeach kind of shares a lot of the same, I guess, number one speculation theory, whatever you want to call it, that this is going to be some sort of like the legend cards that were released a long time ago, where you had like two cards that would combine together to make one whole card or one image. I think it was like a Lugia Ho-Oh one. I think there was one with Raikou, Suicune, and Entei. So would that be cool? Yes, obviously. Do we know that for a fact this is going to be the case? Obviously not. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a theory. I guess it does lead, though, to some fun, interesting ideas, and kind of leaves us in suspense of what could possibly come next for the Pokemon TCG. I'm pretty sure, though, this has to do, though, with the Calyrex thing, where Calyrex fuses with Spectrier and Calyrex fuses with Glastrier. I'm pretty sure that's going to tie in with that. And for all you know, that could make sense for it to be like the legend cards that we used to get. But yeah, that's it when it comes to the TCG. Nothing else happening. Still very hard to find Pokemon product out there. I think by the time I got to a Target yesterday, there was an Alakazam V box that someone else had in their hands, and I think there was the only one left, because when I went to check the shelves where they had the Pokemon cards, there was no boxes, no boosters. I think the only tin that was left was like a Score Bunny tin, and that's it. So cards, TCG, it's slim picking still out there, and hopefully at some point I'll get my hands on something. Like I wouldn't mind just a single Vivid Voltage booster pack at this point. I will spend the $5 just to go ahead and get a slim chance at a Rainbow Rare Pikachu, because I think that's the money card, right? So if I can get a hold of that, that's one less card for me to worry about in my whole collection there. All right, well, that is all the news for today. On PokemonCenter.com, not a whole lot of new product, obviously, besides the skateboard. We did get additions of a duffel bag and a satchel of some kind. It's just go along with the the Pokemon activewear stuff, which is really cool. I'm very tempted actually to get the duffel bag. I mean, it's just like a kind of a plain black one with some yellow, like neon yellow handles on it. But there's also like a very cool looking Pikachu logo off to the side. But other than that, I think the only other thing that was added was a $400 Gigantamax plushie, which it does look cool, but at the same time, $400, like it is a big plushie. I think it's 31 inches maybe at most, 24 at the very least. So size wise, it's not surprising. They always charge their large plushies very, very high, but $400. The skateboard is $250, and they expect me to pay $400 for a giant Pikachu plushie. I think I'm good. I don't need to spend that much money on something that's just gonna sit on a couch or on a bed or something and not just do much. Although I'm not necessarily knocking those that obviously buy the stuff. I just don't have the $400 to cough up for this plushie on its own. Well, now let's go on to our final segment. Our Pokedex trivia, our Pokepalooza. That's a terrible name, I think. I don't know. Like I said, I've not come up with a catchy, corny. Well, I mean, Pokepalooza was kind of corny, but I don't know if I'm really sold on it. But you get the drill, though. It's time for our Pokedex trivia. We've already done Komala. We've done Frillish. Now we're on to our third Pokemon for this segment. As I did last time, I'll read you the Pokedex entry for it. I will give you a few moments to think what that Pokemon could possibly be, and then I'll reveal the answer to you. So if you're ready, here we go. It pulls large trees up by the roots and swings them around. It causes vegetation to grow, and then it absorbs energy from the growth. Now I know what some of you may be thinking. Could it be a plant Pokemon of some kind? So would it be a grass type? Because honestly, I don't know what other type it could possibly be, right? If I'm guessing on that end, I would have to assume grass type. Unless maybe it was a bug type Pokemon. It pulls large trees up by the roots and swings them around. It causes vegetation to grow and then absorbs energy from the growth. Got your answers locked in? You think you're ready? You think you got this Pokemon? I'll give you another moment. Go ahead. Get it set in your head. Run through your choices. Narrow it down. Here we go. It's none other than number 787, Tapu Bulu. The land spirit Pokemon, a grass and fairy type. I think it's a cool design, which is interesting though that this isn't counted with like the whole year of the ox thing or the year of the bovine, whatever Lunar New Year thing it is, because it definitely obviously has the name part and it kind of does look like the part of a bull, but yet when Pokemon like announced the whole year of the ox or whatever, the cow related Pokemon, this wasn't included. So interesting, to say the least. But as far as some trivia goes with Tapu Bulu, there's not a whole lot other than, I guess, the name origin. Tapu Bulu may be a combination of tapu, which is Hawaiian for sacred or holy, and then bull. So Tapu Bulu makes sense. It is also inspired by Lono, one of the four major Hawaiian gods and god of agriculture, abundance, and peace. So very cool. I don't know if it's really been, has it been in the anime? It has. I guess in a couple episodes, one episode actually to be exact. So Tapu Bulu is fine. I know it was seeing some competitive play for quite a while, I think, but I think that was in Sun and Moon, not so much in Sword and Shield. But hey, I'm pretty sure there are Tapu Bulu fans out there. Personally, for me, Tapu Koko is my favorite of the four Tapus. You would think Tapu Fini because it's a water type, but man, Tapu Koko has such a much cooler design. I think Tapu Fini just has a more, not necessarily cute, I guess you could say cute design, or more kind of clean, nice looking design. Tapu Koko is just very fierce and aggressive in his stance, so I'm all for Tapu Koko. Any cards, Tapu Koko always come out looking very cool in the TCG. Well, that is it, everybody, for this episode. Thank you for allowing me to kind of vent in the beginning of this episode about the whole skateboard situation. Hopefully there's a better turnout or a better result coming soon with that. And hopefully we don't have an issue like that with some of the upcoming Pokemon 25th anniversary merchandise. Hopefully the whole bot situation can get resolved. But thank you again for taking the time to listen to this episode. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. I am going to have a brainstorm session soon as to how I exactly want to structure this, because I personally feel like I'm kind of rushing through a lot of the news, and I think it's because of the way I talk, and I find that I need to probably slow down. I'm pretty sure all of you have noticed I talk very, very fast, and that is just my normal way of talking, but in order for me to, I guess, keep a consistent podcast, I kind of have to work on that. So I'm always looking for feedback. I'm always looking for new ideas as well. So if you guys have any, go ahead and hit me up on my social. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube at SpartanStrike07. You can also send me an email at SpartanStrike07@gmail.com. I'll try to remember to also put that in the description, so that way it's easier to look it up from there. And yeah, I'll be looking forward to hearing from any and all of you. And for those that are out there sharing my posts when I upload these episodes, and for those, liking my tweets and retweeting them out, and I just any support, really, I appreciate it. It really encourages me and motivates me to keep doing this. And hopefully, if my buddy out there is listening, the other one that wanted to do a podcast with me and never got back to my Facebook messages, if he's listening, he knows I'm calling him out on this. Hopefully he'll want to join in on this, and we can come up with some better, bigger ideas for this podcast. But thank you again, everybody. I appreciate it. I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I look forward to next week for us to continue talking Pokemon.